Summer is in session at IKON Park. Welcome back to Season 3, Episode 2 of Summer Sessions, a Carlton Media pre-season podcast. And we've got quite the coup here. My name's Christian Filippo. I'm your host, and Jazz Bennett is on producing duties today. And if what we're led to believe is true, the gossip kings of IKON Park are here, with one in particular, and I'm sure we'll get onto that. They've been mates ever since they walked in the door. They're housemates. They've had a big morning this morning at the 2K time trial, which I'm sure we'll get into. Jaxon, Bins, Lachie Cowan, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us on.
You seem absolutely thrilled to be here, Cow. But
I actually am, so.
We'll make sure to get this done as quick as we can. But no, appreciate you boys being here. Not sure if you are, but have you listened to the show? Are you fans of the show? Please lie to me if it's a no.
I always listen to the little clips you post on Instagram, and then if they're interesting enough, that I'll go there and try and find little digs throughout that we can throw around the locker room. So, but no, good to be on.
So that's a no, but that's okay.
I listened to Cunners a little bit, but
that was probably the biggest guest of all time. That was 2 years in the making. Big fan of the show, David Cunningham, so hope you're well, David. Well, if you did listen to the show, which you clearly don't, but that's okay, it starts off the same way every single time. I'll ask both of you, what's your go-to karaoke song?
I know Cows, so if he's lying, I'll let you know. What's mine? We'll start with Cow.
Cow, what do you got?
Well, I can't lie, so I'm just going to have to say Fergalicious.
Is that correct?
Yeah, so he does it pretty well, so he's pretty good at the rap part. But mine, I'm anything by Justin Bieber, I reckon.
Okay. Yeah. You going to name one, or just JB doing some JB?
Or Jason Derulo, actually, in my head is...
That is not Justin Bieber. You've said
Jason Derulo.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll change it.
Changed it. Anything from Justin Bieber, Jason Derulo.
Yeah.
Great. No, like it. Cow, Fergalicious?
Yeah, Fergalicious. So.
Any reason?
Nah.
Is there a routine to go with it?
No,
he dances with it too.
No, he doesn't. That's just Fergalicious.
Fair enough. Well, we'll get onto the gossip stuff shortly, and appreciate you being vulnerable enough to tell us that Fergalicious is your go-to karaoke song. But we'll ease you into it. So just the easy stuff to start off. Good break for you both?
Yeah, it was good. We spent pretty much most of it together. Cow was over here in Melbourne for a lot of it, so it was good to be able to hang out with him and get back and see family. So we had a little Bali trip together with a few boys, so that was good. And, yeah, it's good to be back.
Is that where the extra ink came from?
Yes, I got it on in Tassie when we got back from Bali, which was nice, but didn't really enjoy sitting through it and hurt a little bit.
What's the feedback been?
Well, a lot of people just take the piss, so I'm just not sure how to take it. So I don't really know.
Generally, if they are doing that, that's a compliment. I think that's how it works.
Yeah, needs to get the full thing done.
Yes, it'll be coming Christmas time. So,
well, there's not a whole lot that's around the place, so you're kind of doing the heavy lifting for a lot of people, Cow.
Yeah, it's true. Zachy Williams, he's got a little bit. Binsy actually got a new tattoo. He's nice, a nice little tattoo on his foot.
Is that why you got the long Puma socks on today?
Yeah, it was a little Bali thing that a few of the boys got. We were carrying on a little bit, and we all got matching tattoos.
Sounds like there's a whole heap of regret right now.
Yeah, it was one that I wish I could get back.
That's fair enough. Well, particular congratulations to you, Cow. It's not every off-season that you become a brother. How is Audrey doing?
I actually haven't spoken to her in a while, but I'm sure she's going well. Keeping Nick up, I hope, and hopefully Sam's been going really well.
Is that a bit of jealousy that I detect?
No jealousy.
You sure? That Newy's got another...
No, well, it was more in there for Sam anyway. So.
This has been well established, yeah. We love Pato. Some sessions, and everyone at Carlton well and truly prefers Sam Patterson to Nick Newman.
I agree.
How is... yeah. Well, Newy's got the longer hair now. He's got the beard. Like, there's a bit of... He looks like a dad now.
Yeah, he does. It was... we're at Weeders' wedding or surprise wedding the other day, and I reckon he tried to dress in his best dad kit he could. He was wearing this polo and had his beard, and he's just best dad kit he could possibly pick out. Had the baby on the front with whatever the carrier thing's called. Did his best to look like a dad.
There'll be plenty of Nick Newman chat to come, which is probably no surprise to either of you, so we'll get onto that later. It does feel like sometimes, draftees move in together for a short period of time and they get along, then they kind of go their separate ways. But with you two, I feel like you're in it for the long haul. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I don't think I'll be going anywhere anytime soon.
Yes, I reckon we'll stay together for a while, hopefully.
What's it been like living with the other?
With each other?
Yeah.
No, it's good. We have our arguments, our fair share of arguments together, but no, it's been a lot of fun. And certainly we keep each other on our toes, and we can always vent on each other and complain about things in life. But no, it's been good.
Are you a complainer? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Yeah,
what was the most
at the
recent
club.
thing you argued about? Not to bring it back up on the show, but
He probably left a dish in the sink, or I left a dish in the sink, and the other one had to clean it up. So that's usually what it is.
fair enough. Is that an accurate assessment?
Yeah, I was pretty shocking. I'll admit I was pretty shocking when we lived in our first house. I feel like I've got a little bit better now.
Yeah, he's gotten a lot better.
Lovely. How much of your time at home is spent scheming for what you're going to do at the club the next day?
No.
It's more just springs.
Yeah.
Well, it's more Jaxon comes up with the ideas, and I
That's
just
probably
get
no
dragged
surprise,
along.
yeah.
It's just if we see something in the moment, we'll ask each other if it's a good idea, and if the other agrees, then we'll do it.
What's the split? Like, are you coming with 80% of the ideas?
No, he's good with he comes up with ideas, but then he makes me do them. So I have to take it all. So, but no, it's a 50-50 split coming up with it, but it seems that I always have to do it.
It's 90-10, whether Jaxon does it or not.
Yeah.
It's 10 me, 90 Jaxon.
But the 10% that you do is really good, I'm sure.
Yeah.
It is.
Tell us, Cal, did your mate over here have this morning's date penciled in the calendar for a while?
He did the big grand final for Jaxon. He did have it penciled in, but he ran really well, so he should be pumped with it.
Second place?
Yep. Yeah. No. I was pretty happy with my run in the end. Not expecting to be able to break that time again. So, I was happy.
And Cow can't do much more than run a PB, which you were a bit nervous about talking about, but
Yes.
we can confirm it was a PB for you.
Yes, I wasn't going to come on unless I did. So lucky I did. And Jackson's filthy by coming second. By the way, he's pretty.
No, humble in defeat.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to pump you up, but I'll leave that for never then.
Well, if you're not going to pump up Cow, who would you like to pump up for their run this morning? Obviously, it was a 2K time trial around Princess Park this morning.
I think it was pretty impressive to see that we got split off into groups, and first year draftee Harry Charlton got put in the third group and ended up beating a lot of the boys home who was even in the first group and ran a really good time. So that was impressive. And then, as much as I hate to say it, Newey's been training pretty well, and his running has been good. So that was impressive for the old fella.
The old fella. Any others or?
Lemmy. I think Lemmy cut nearly 20 seconds off his
Yep.
first time, which is really impressive. He was also in the back group, and he come flying home and beat a lot of the second group home, which was good to see.
So we're recording this on Wednesday and kind of arrived early this morning. And generally speaking, before training sessions, there's music on the indoor training field. There's a lot of chatter. There's a lot of energy. Is it safe to say that this morning there was a bit more subdued atmosphere prior to the 2K time trial?
Yeah, definitely. There was a lot of nervous energy around. And at one stage I walked into the change room and everyone was dead silent. No one was speaking, very nervous. So it was good to be done.
Who is that outside?
Cots.
Matthew Cottrell. TDK. Cotter's got a lot of energy after not running this morning.
Yeah. He actually pulled out this morning. He all of a sudden had a sore foot. So,
Got scared. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, that's it. That.
Yeah, and happy with your run, Cow. And how were your nerves beforehand? Were you a bit quieter than usual?
Yeah, I reckon it's the worst day of the year. Just the build up is worse than
He's
the actual
smiling
run.
about it. Look at him. He loves
No,
it.
because yesterday he was in the worst mood ever because he was thinking about today.
We was at Bunnings yesterday, and I just told Jaxon, I was like, I'm in a shit mood. Like, I'm gonna be in a shit mood for the rest of the day, even tomorrow, until we get it done. So,
And he better now?
yeah, a little bit better now.
A little bit better. Is he generally in a good mood at the best of times?
He goes up and down depending on the day. It's usually once we get through the session and the session's done, he's happy because it's done.
It's over.
But no, he's usually pretty good.
Surely he was happy at the end of the season from a really promising campaign.
Well,
surely.
he definitely should be.
Yeah, but he might not have been, but he should have been.
Yeah, what he was able to do last year was, as a second year player, was pretty good. He certainly held his own against everyone in the competition that he was able to play on. He played on some pretty important players for the other team and did pretty good jobs, so he should be proud.
That's nice.
Yeah, thanks, Jaxon.
What did you make of year 2, mate?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Took me a while to get going till about round 7, and then I felt like I really fit in with the team and the style we was playing, and hopefully I can just build off last season, into this year.
And then playing with him as well for one quarter back in round 7, and then for those final 2 games must have been pretty nice for the two of you.
Yeah, we'll count the West Coast game as Jackson's first game. He was really crook leading into it, so you could tell he's getting a bit stressed, and he got the first quarter out of the way and then played really well.
Well, Ashton had no voice that week.
I
were struggling.
I didn't have a voice, yeah. After the first quarter, I couldn't call for it, so struggling a bit.
That might be an issue for you because we'll get onto this, but you're not the quietest person out there, are you?
No, I've been told quite a bit that I do yell for it pretty loud, so it was hard for me, but it was a good experience.
What did you make of? Obviously, you waited a while, and then that opportunity came in those last 2 weeks. What did you make of those 2 games?
It was a pretty cool experience. I'd never been to Perth or been to Optus ever, so to be able to go there in front of a pretty big crowd with mostly West Coast supporters, and it was a big game for us to keep our season alive. So
losing his voice now.
Yeah,
just thinking about it.
But no, it was a pretty special sort of weekend that we were able to get a good win, and I felt I played my role, and it gave me good confidence going into the next week that I was able to produce my role for the team. So it was good.
We spoke to Ash last week, and the difference between thinking what AFL footy's like and knowing what AFL footy's like for you this pre-season, is that very much the same for you?
Yeah, I think it was definitely a good thing to be able to get a taste of it at the end of the last year, because I know what I've got to work towards and the sort of intensity I have to train at each session to get better. So, those last couple of games definitely put me in the right direction to build on this year.
That was your full debut in round 23 against West Coast. That round 7 game against Geelong, I think it was 87,700 people there that day.
Yeah.
Undefeated team versus a team that was 6-1. Raz is ill in the morning and you get the call up.
Yeah.
Tell us what that day was like for you and calling family and all that kind of thing, because that was chaos.
It was a pretty stressful sort of 24 hours. I sort of got a hint from Jack Russell the day before that Raz wasn't looking good, so it was going to be a pretty good chance that I was going to play, but I never got the confirmation. And then I woke up pretty early the next day because I was sort of still thinking about it, and I even text Russ saying, "What's the go? Am I playing?" And then he sort of said, "No, just think you're going to be carryover emergency like you were." And then an hour later, Vossi called me at about 9 o'clock that morning and said that I was playing, and then had calls from Zachy and Lil trying to telling me that I had to get some tickets sorted, and it was pretty stressful, but it worked out well. I was able to have all my family in the rooms, and a pretty special jumper presentation from Murph, which was pretty cool. And even though we didn't get the win, it was still a pretty cool experience.
He played in front of 87,700 people on his first game. You pipped him by 300 with your first game.
Wow. Wait, so
88,000 for Richmond in round 1. What are your memories of your first game, especially ending in a draw?
All I really remember is me getting subbed off, to be honest. But
you look like a sore boy by the end of that.
I remember running out, and I was really nervous, and Dad came up to me and gave me a little cuddle and said it's all right to smile and enjoy it. So that's probably one of the big takeaways I got from that game.
Are you a smiler at the best of times?
Nah, not really.
Did you smile that day?
I did, actually. I smiled a couple of times, which is...
Once or twice?
Yeah, not like me.
Well, that was your first game, and the moos in the crowd were a thing even then. They're getting a bit louder now. What's that like? Must be weird.
Yeah, well, it sort of sounds like a boo, but knowing that it's a moo, it's pretty cool. It's getting louder, so hopefully can get it even louder next season.
As someone who was a childhood Carlton fan and heard the Cruise ring out, and he also said back when he was first playing that he thought it was a boo. To be kind of greeted by the Carlton faithful like that must be a pretty cool experience.
It's very cool. I just remember growing up, I used to think Cruise was a boo as well until Dad told me what it actually was.
Well, you've got the moo. Sardi's got the woof. Will there be a chicken noise to go with Binzy from the crowd, because it does follow you around IKON Park?
Yeah, I get it too much. I hate it. Yeah.
Well, we went out with the Tom de Koning mic'd up last night on Tuesday night, and there's a few chookers in there. People were a bit confused. Are you willing to confirm that is you?
Yeah, that is me. I don't know how it came about, but yeah, unfortunately, it is me.
Is it the bin chicken? Is that what it?
Yeah, unfortunately, that is. Yeah,
so
true.
you don't know what it's about, but you do know what it's about.
I try to. Yeah,
Yeah,
that is true.
I'm not sure if the effects Mike picks it up at, in training or at VFL games, but when you've got the boys on the balcony greeting your every disposal with that noise, what's that like?
I'd try and block it out as much as I can, but when I'm close enough, I can't help myself but to laugh a little bit. And but yeah, it's not too bad. I try and block it out.
Well, the more you hear it, I'm sure that's a good sign, because that means you're getting more of the pill.
Yeah, I guess so. It means if I'm hearing it a bit, that means I'm getting it a little bit, so it'd be nice.
Who's the driver of it out there?
Saying it.
Yeah.
Probably Cots.
Oh, there's a few.
Yeah.
That's the obvious call, but yes.
Yeah, Cots and King, TDK, they run it a bit. Cripper's on it a bit, but yeah, other than that.
I feel like everyone, as soon as one person
caught
does
on.
it, everyone just jumps on board.
Well, you got the moo in your first ever team meeting, and
Yeah, I did actually. I actually don't do the chicken noise because I know how much he hates it. So.
But as someone who likes to antagonise others, is this a bit of karma?
Yeah, probably a little bit. I need to be able to take it because I give it out just as much and more.
Yeah.
So, I need to take it.
And is Chooker a nickname that you don't like and therefore it's stuck?
I bite at most things, but I didn't bite too much for this one, and it's still stuck.
I think every footy club does need a Chooker in some way, shape or form.
Yeah, I'll take it then.
That's you. Nice. In terms of preseason, in terms of training, we spoke about the 2K time trial, but who are you liking what they're doing out there? We love the preseason cliches of who's flying and set for more midfield time and all that kind of thing. So give us some of your best.
I'd say Cooper Lord. He's looking pretty good.
It's 2 weeks in, and I've heard that about 5 times. Yep.
Yeah. Well, I'll change it up. Ches.
Lovely.
Ches
Yep.
is looking pretty good. I know he's smashed a 2K out this morning as well, but training with him a bit in the off season, he was flying. So expect a big year from Ches.
Like it.
Yeah, I was going to say Ches as well, but I will be nice. I'll shout him out because he sacrificed his off season a little bit away from family to come back in Melbourne and train pretty hard. So, and it showed today that he ran a really good time. So, I reckon Cow's in for a pretty good year. He's got stronger again, and he's running well. So,
do you want to put Bins in your?
No. No, he's not allowed to.
Is this the nicest he's ever been to you?
It actually is. It's
2 compliments in 10 minutes.
It's good that it's in front of a camera, so I
We've
can
got it
go
logged.
back to it.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of that video that we had with TDK where he was mic'd up, there's something that I do want to clear up because there was a bit of conjecture to come out of it for you, Cow. Why do you hate TDK?
No, there was a couple week period. He just didn't message me.
Yeah.
Didn't talk to me. He left me out to dry a little bit.
But then back on day one, he was getting around you well and truly.
Now he's back on me, so pretty happy.
You happy?
Yep.
You don't hate him anymore?
Nah.
Great.
Friends now.
You don't want to rub the big blokes the wrong way.
You don't.
Binzy. Speaking of, TDK, we get it. He can be a bit antagonising at the best of times. Harry's generally pretty good.
Oh.
Why? What did you do to make a 200 centimetre key forward tackle you when you're on his team?
Oh, I couldn't believe it. I seen him come like storming towards me. I'm like, sweetie, he's gonna block me. He's gonna block the defender. And then he ended up smashing me. And then he still to this day can't admit that he was wrong.
Yeah. So what's the feedback been from him?
Oh, he just said, no, I was just competing and I was competing too hard and I got distracted. But he just won't admit that he got it wrong.
Well, I am very excited to say that we do have the vision somewhere. So I'm sure it'll accompany this video and they can make it up for themselves because He does absolutely nail you as
Yeah,
well.
he did, and I was pretty flat about it too.
You didn't look happy.
No, because I thought he was going to block for me, and I was like, sweet, big boy blocking. But no, he just smashed me.
Well, we saw last year in AFL games that Newey is more than happy to fly the flag for his teammates that get hit by opposition. When Harry Mackay's doing it, was he anywhere to be seen, or did he just kind of let that one go?
No, he just let that one go. I think whenever someone's bigger than him, you just let it go. So, yeah, he won't go after the big boys.
He backed you up last year, Kia, I think, a few times.
Harry.
No, Newey, not Harry.
Yeah, not Harry. Newey did. Yeah, he's pretty good for that. But like Newey's got like a very hittable face, I reckon. It's like I love him, but I'd hate to play against him because he can get under people's skin a little bit.
He'd chatter a fair bit.
He would, yes.
Well, last year was Matt Kennedy that kept getting in scraps in preseason training. It was never really his fault, and obviously Chugga's not here anymore. So is Newey the heir apparent to kind of get a bit of treatment, or?
Oh, there was a couple of today after the 2K. Walsh went after a few.
Oh, shock!
Yeah, so he goes after a few, and Hudson O'Keefe.
Who's Skull, by the way, in case anyone
Skull.
was watching those who don't know who that is.
Big Skull was getting a bit fired up today, so it hasn't been a big one yet, so we'll soon.
It's
wait
the
and see,
preseason's still
Yeah.
young. Well, tell us about Newey. Probably no surprise that we'll have a bit of a chat about him. Why did you decide to align yourself with him when you came into the football club? It's probably you, Cow, more than anything.
Well, I didn't really get a choice.
You got put in with him?
Yeah, I got put in with him. But he was really good for me from day one. I was pretty quiet, and he sort of brought me out of myself a little bit, throwing me under the bus here and there. But I think that was good for me. And then obviously living with him and go back to Sam. But she's an amazing cook, so I was always well fed when I was staying there. And then Newey, I feel like him sort of taking the piss out of me. Are you allowed to swear on here?
Well, I think piss is fine, so go right ahead.
Piss is fine.
Don't go any bigger than that,
No.
but I think you've been okay so far.
Okay, so Newey taking the piss out of me, like
Stop doubling down on it, but yeah, you can say it.
sort of made me feel more involved at the club, or even like little things like that. So he was really big for me.
And then you've kind of taken the practical joke side of things from him, or just the...
But sort of like, because Cow and I were so close pretty quickly, sort of like being able to latch onto him. But like Cow said, the way that Newey welcomes you into the club and just makes you feel a part of it straight away, like he said, by taking the mickey out of you or just like involving you with the jokes makes you feel more welcome. So I think, that's the way that we've sort of been able to get closer to him, and then now being able to form a pretty like close relationship with him. Whereas if you do need to be serious with him, he can be serious. But geez, at the best of times, I do hate him a lot. But he's just been so good for both of us.
Well, Cotters and TDK mentioned that they were his minions early days, and then they graduated.
Yeah.
But he was very quick to replenish and got you two involved. I think Matt Carroll was in there as well, just to kind of do his dirty work. Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah.
I won't admit that I'm one of Newey's minions.
Okay.
I reckon.
You don't want to be associated?
No.
You're just his
I
son?
don't know if Binsey does.
No, if anyone out of the whole list is his minion, it's Cow. But now sort of over the last year, Matt Carroll's sort of come in as well, and so I'll just say it's Cow and Jeff that are the two minions, and I'll join in every now and then.
Are you? But is that because you do your own thing? You're independent of Newey?
Yeah, I'll say I'm not with Newey.
Okay, that's fair.
I reckon one to watch is Big Hoff. I reckon Newey will get under
Young
him.
defender.
Yeah.
Welcome to the club.
Yeah.
Come with
I
me.
agree.
Surely he doesn't have the time for this with a new bub.
He'll find the time.
Yeah,
Find a way.
You'd
Find
think
a
he
way.
wouldn't, but somehow he does.
Well, we spoke to Weeders in Mount Martha a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago now, and asked him who the biggest gossip at the club is. And the question wasn't even out of my mouth, and he said it's Nick Newman. But it's come across the Summer Sessions desk that one of you two loves a gossip. Cow. It's not you. Binsey. Any comment?
No, I don't agree.
No reason that would
No, I
come to
don't know.
fruition?
Well, if it's Newey saying it, then he's
What would make you think that it was Newey saying it?
Because he's the gossiper.
It was Nick Newman. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was. Yeah, that's,
Yeah.
yeah. But you can't see where he's coming from?
Nah, he's just trying to get it flung off him. So
Well, I
Cow?
can see where it's come from. It's the best thing about living with Binzy. If you miss out on something that day, you come home and he's got every little thing for you. And even if you don't know who's in the team or what's that, you
Yeah, so
fucking smack.
I've heard that you're basically your match committee. You know what the team is
No.
before anyone else does.
Nah, not true.
he does. He's a
It-
locker chat. If you go in there, Binzy, he's got something for
He
you.
finds a way.
He doesn't walk up and tell people, but if you ask him, he'll know.
What's the most recent piece of info you've gotten?
I've actually quietened down a bit. I haven't had any.
Stop trying to pretend that you're light and breezy and you don't really do this yet, because it's been
I can't
confirmed by
actually
many
think of one.
sources.
Um,
Well, I've got one for you that I'd like to set.
yeah.
I don't know if this is true or not.
There we
Apparently, one of the young lads went to Latrobe on Tuesday when we weren't training there.
Oh, I didn't hear about that.
Neither did I.
I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, well, if you can find out who that was, because
I'll find out.
yeah, so he will. Yeah, you'll find
Yeah.
out. That is, we were told that
Well-
someone went, and I don't know who it was.
If I was going to guess, I don't reckon it'd be Jagger.
But no, but the Camperellis are with Walshy and Harry Charleston's with
It
Cots.
was
sure.
Hoff. I reckon it was Big Hoff.
And then Hoff and Jagger come together, so it could be both of them.
True.
Well, maybe just find out. I'm not
Yeah.
sure if that's. Apparently, they walked into a function at Latrobe.
Oh,
when-
did they?
Yeah.
Oh no,
And
that is pretty embarrassing.
thinking it was the team meeting and it
Oh,
wasn't. So
no.
maybe that's one for you. If you are
Yeah, I'll try
what you
and
say
find out.
what you say you're not,
Yeah,
then
see
have a
how we
look.
go.
Yeah. Thanks for that. What about Vossi? Yeah. Your relationship with the coach.
Well, I'm pretty quiet, but like obviously don't talk heaps to him outside, like meetings or if walk past in the hallways. But he's a really good like leader or coach of this club. Like sort of he talks and everyone snaps their necks and listens no matter what. And like even before the games and stuff, like he can get you pretty pumped up. Yeah, I just think his talking is so good.
Well, I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but the man himself spoke last year about he had a tomato sauce addiction when he was 18 or so. Just put on everything when he met his wife, when he first met their family, needed tomato sauce and everything. Would you do anything similar? Like maybe Sam Patterson's amazing food that you mentioned before?
So you've gone to Nick about a few things. That could have been Sam actually.
I actually can't remember who told me first, but it was one of the two.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Sam used to get really flat. Like I used to drown everything. I still do, but barbecue sauce. Even I think they went crook at me for putting it on satay chicken. I think they were fuming about that. And Sam does make really nice meals, and then I sort of ruin a bit with barbecue sauce, but I can't help myself.
I'm pretty bad with my tomato sauce, but I've never seen
Next
it.
level?
Yeah, he'll go through a barbecue sauce once every week, 2 weeks. He'll be buying a new one.
Do you bring it with you to training, just when Emma prepares something? Or
No, I don't. They usually have like a good smoky barbecue sauce out there, but
but is that a recent addition because of you?
well, it wasn't there today, so I was a bit flat about it.
Sorry, mate. We'll make sure that's okay for next. Well, who does the cooking at home? Is it shared? Is it Uber Eats? Is it?
We split, so
Yep.
like, we'll just take it in turns of cooking each night, and you get your one night, you cook and you clean, and then you get the day off the next day. So it's a good way to do it.
Do you make meals that are barbecue sauce friendly for him, or do you just find a way anyway?
Yeah. Well, everything's barbecue sauce friendly for Cow, so it doesn't matter what it is. There'll be barbecue sauce getting thrown on it. He always tries a little bit without barbecue sauce, but then it ends up just being drowned.
Well, we've mentioned that you've been in each other's pockets basically ever since you got here. Is it high energy at home? Do you kind of keep to yourselves a bit, or are you always on?
We go through phases.
Yeah.
Like there'll be like a time where we're both really high in energy, but then usually after a long preseason day we crash. So we eat dinner and then we sort of go our separate ways. But there is times where we can be pretty high energy, and that's sort of when we start to scheme things. We start to get ideas that in our head they're good, but they're probably not.
How does he wind down? If he does.
Well, he's not a big like movie watcher at all, really. He just sort of sits out the couch on his phone, and I sit upstairs away from him. And then Well, it's
Then you
just
swap.
yeah. we always just sort of meet in the middle, getting out something out of the pantry or the fridge.
Mate,
Think of something to do.
night, every night we'll have a cup of tea together. We'll,
nice.
we'll make our night tea together, and then we'll say good night and see you in the morning.
All the best.
Yep.
How does he wind down?
Yeah, he's a big movie watcher. He'll go upstairs.
Yep.
I don't even know if he watches the movie. He just put it on and he'll be blaring upstairs. And but yeah, he'll watch his movies and stuff like that. So
Any particular movie or kind of
He likes-
cartoon show
well, he's-
that kind of gets a run?
he uses my Netflix, and I always see he gets halfway through Harry Potter.
Yeah.
And then the next night there'll be a new Harry Potter that he'll be halfway through, but
Yeah.
he won't finish them.
But it's a good choice as a kind of just a movie to have on. What about Scooby-Doo?
Yeah, he's pretty good at that.
Well, it's not on Netflix, so I've got to go to Stan to watch my Scooby-Doos.
But you're a big Scooby-Doo fan.
I am a massive Scooby-Doo fan.
Where did this start?
I actually don't know, but
Yep.
like I was sort of had a little routine. You've gone to Newey. Newey has told you everything about it.
He did say if he thought of anything else, he'd let me know, but he did send about 9 back-to-back messages with stuff on both of you, but mainly
Be careful.
mainly the sun.
Yeah, I was
Pre-game ritual.
caught. My pre-game ritual was to shave my legs in the shower while watching Scooby-Doo, the same Scooby-Doo movie.
Now, I didn't know that, but
Yeah.
thank you for confirming that by yourself. I appreciate that.
I thought Newey might have said that because that's what he found, and he found me in my Scooby-Doo jocks as well.
Oh, so when we're going out there and watching you kind of hitting bodies as a hard-nosed defender,
Under
that's from Scooby-Doo.
It is, yep.
usually under the shorts is a pair of Scooby-Doo jocks as well, so he's not all that tough. Yeah.
Thanks for coming on the podcast, by the way. I appreciate this. We're finding out a bit more about you, Cal. Well, I think Kempy mentioned as well last year that he has Star Wars jocks that kind of is part of his game day routine. So you're not alone. And what's your go-to? If it's not Scooby-Doo, what's your...
I'm not anything like that. I'll shave my legs as well the night before, so I'm a leg shaver, and then I'll just eat. I usually just eat the same stuff, and that's about it. Go for a walk in the morning, but I'm not a Scooby-Dooer.
Not yet.
Nah.
Not ever?
Nah, I don't think so.
Fair enough. What do you reckon, like, kind of when you're growing up and watching some of these Carlton players that you now play with, Cal, as teammates, what do you reckon they would make of you that they've found out that you're a Scooby-Doo man in the morning of a game?
I don't know.
Because we've really built up this reputation for you as like this kind of combative.
Yeah, I don't know if I want this going on anymore.
Everyone would nearly know.
Yeah, around the club, everyone
in the
would
club,
know.
everyone would know.
Just that's like the gossip I knew is like I'd done that once at Newey's and then
That
the
was
whole
it.
club found out.
Yeah.
It was good.
You could say one thing dumb around Newey, and the whole team will be asking you about it.
And it'll be there for years.
Yeah, and there'll be mayo put on it, and
You make a nickname out of it and then it just sticks.
Well, he got onions for a while, which I'm sure you're aware of.
I'm actually not. No,
Oh,
I
wow.
haven't heard that one.
He got onions in his first year because he was crying about everything.
Oh yeah,
Which and he wasn't a fan.
the photo of him crying is one of the best photos ever. That is a great photo.
But he was more complaining about everything. So I think it was Mitch McGovern called him onions, and it stuck for a while, and then he somehow got rid of it.
That's good. Onions is good.
But it might come back. Who knows? But Cal, obviously touched on it. Growing up, Carlton fan. Who are you? If you can go down to a top 3 of Carlton players that you love watching growing up, or your favourites growing up, who were they?
Carlton players?
Yeah.
Juddy would have to be probably number 1.
Yep.
He was like sort of the first person I just remember watching is Juddy, and then probably Andrew Walker. I just remember his hanger against Essendon. Like that's when
Not mark of the year, by the way. Outrageous.
It is outrageous, but that's like you dress up with the one on your back and the headband, like the tape
tape
around the head, and then 3 would probably be Doc, but
Don't give him too much satisfaction.
don't like saying that now, but because I've met him, but
And that's changed your opinion of him, or?
yeah, a lot.
Well, no, you're a bit young for him, but would Diesel or even Jordan Russell be a bit flat? You didn't mention them because they made a big deal out of it when you got the number 2.
Yeah, probably. My dad loved Diesel and
Yep.
Geordie Russ, but
Are you putting Jordan Russell in the same sentence as Diesel?
well,
Don't tell
I-
Diesel.
Yeah, Diesel would be flat. about that.
Diesel wouldn't be happy with anyone being in the same sentence
No,
as him.
that's for sure. That's for sure. And then you got the 25, mate, as well. Following on Fisher's legacy.
Yeah, I think like he was another one when we first got to the club that he looked after me so much and just sort of got me involved with the older boys stuff and just was there for me in my first year for anything. And then because they didn't have a VFL jumper with 32, I ended up wearing 25 a few times. And then once he officially got traded, he sent me a message and asked, "Do you want to take over 25?" And it was pretty. Just because of how well he looked after me, it was pretty hard to say no. So, and the history behind the jumper is pretty cool.
I was going to say, I do think you rattled a few people when you said it was for Fish and not for it's a pretty famous number at IKON Park, but Zach Fisher's the one, not Jezza or Fev.
Nah.
Or Clem Smith.
Yeah. Well, when I told Dad about it, he was like, "Wow, it's a pretty special number within the club." And I think we're from Fev and I are from similar areas, like where we grew up. So it's pretty cool. And obviously, Jezza and Fev are pretty cool players. So, the number's cool.
We've run to your top three for the day. So thank you for sharing, Kia. We used to wrap up these podcasts asking about one man in particular. He's already been mentioned. It was David Cunningham. Just to find out anything that we could about him. There wasn't a lot, but my issue now is that I think we know a lot about most players.
Yeah.
But having the gossip king of IKON Park here, give us your top three nominations for who could replace Cunners as a potential enigma around the football club, because we're at a loss, and it's a loss of content that we had here that we're really flat that we're missing out on.
You've put me on the spot here. I'm just trying to...
One
is...
We've found everything we can about him now.
You won't find out much more over the next couple of years about him. He won't...
Yep. Keep his cards close to his chest. This is the
one day you'll find out a fair bit about him, but he would be up there.
Billy Wilson outside the club, he goes home a lot, so no one ever knows what he's doing.
Did you live with him for a bit?
Yeah, we're living with him at the moment.
There you go. You don't, so hang on, your 1 and 2 are your two housemates.
Yeah.
That's not a good sign.
Yeah.
Does that say more about you or them?
I'll always know what he's doing, but not many other people will.
Okay, right. So you're the one that knows.
Yeah.
Do you trust him more than you trust Newey?
Yeah, because if it's... yes.
That's a long pause.
No, yeah, I do. But like serious things, I could probably trust Newey and Binsey the same. But if it's like something little, I'd trust Binsey way more because Newey just find it funny and tell everyone.
Yeah, that's fair. And who's 3?
Who's 3?
It's going to be one of the first years.
Yeah. I reckon Big Hoff. He's very quiet at the moment. He might come out of himself.
He might become Nick Newman.
Yeah, he might get Nick Newman. I hope he doesn't for his sake. But,
he's a good kid. Leave him alone.
When we have got a bit out of him, he seems like a really nice kid. So I hope he doesn't get Nick Newman, but he could be a smoky to be number 3.
Thank you, mate. Well, we've got some... To be honest, I think it's going to turn to him after this, but I'm not sure we'll get much more out of it. We've gone right to the source first. I appreciate that. We end these podcasts the same way every single time. And again, thank you for your time. It was a bit easier to get you than it was to get Kia, but I appreciate you both being here all the same.
No worries.
But for the both of you, we ask this all the time. It's a bit more of a wholesome answer than anything. Why do you play footy?
I just think because I've always loved it. Growing up, I've played with always growing up. I've played with like my best mates and friends from school, and then all mates you form through footy, and then now my dream coming true of playing AFL, and I've formed some really close friendships within the club that I'm going to have for the rest of my life. So just going out with my best mates to compete together is why I play.
Cow?
Yeah, it's a pretty good answer. I'd have to say something along them lines, just building connections with the boys at the club, and then being able to play with them every weekend it's pretty special.
When you say competing with your teammates, you're going to steer clear of Harry?
Yeah, hopefully we can compete together against an opposition team, not wear the same jumper and he's competing on me. So.
Yeah, it hasn't stopped him before, so why would it stop him now?
Yeah, hopefully that doesn't happen again. He's a pretty big man compared to me, so it didn't take much for him to get me. So yeah, hopefully.
No, thank you, boys. Hope you enjoyed that, and all the best for season 2025.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Critter.
You got through it, Cow.
Yes, last time.
First and last.
Oh, that was good.
Thank you, boys.
Thank you very much.